Listen to me very carefully, because what you're about to see may completely change the way you look at these golden dollar coins forever. Most people think these are just ordinary $1 coins, something small, something common, something easy to ignore. But that is exactly how hidden coin discoveries are lost. Because the truth is, some of the most overlooked coins in America are not always pennies, not always silver, not always ancient coins locked away in collections. Sometimes they are modern presidential dollar coins. Coins that millions of people ignore. Coins that sit in drawers. Coins that get mixed in change jars. Coins that people spend without a second thought. But what most people never realize is this. When a coin carries the right detail, the right condition, or the right edge lettering error, it stops being ordinary, and suddenly it becomes something collectors pay attention to. Today on USA Coin Craze, we're looking at 3 powerful presidential dollar coins: John Tyler, Thomas Jefferson, and James Garfield. 3 coins that look simple on the surface, but carry history, mystery, and the kind of details serious collectors never ignore. And the most important part? The real secret of these coins is not only on the front, and not only on the back, but on the edge. Stay with me until the end, because each coin carries its own story, its own hidden detail, and its own reason why people should never ignore these golden dollars. Now let's begin with coin number 1. At first glance, this looks like nothing more than a simple golden dollar, a coin with the Statue of Liberty on one side and a presidential portrait on the other. But when you turn it over, the name becomes clear. John Tyler, the 10th President of the United States, a man whose presidency began in a moment of crisis and whose place in American history still stands out today. That alone gives this coin historical identity. But in the collector world, history is only the beginning. Because collectors don't just look at the portrait, they don't just read the name, they look deeper. They study the condition, they study the lettering, they study the edge. And that is where this coin becomes interesting. The reverse design shows the Statue of Liberty, strong, upright, unmistakable. A symbol of American identity. A symbol used across the presidential dollar series to create a clean but powerful look. The front carries the portrait of John Tyler with the words, "In God We Trust," and 10th President, 1841 to 1845. This is not just a coin. This is a historical tribute pressed into metal. But here's the part most people miss. Presidential dollar coins are famous for one very important reason: their edge lettering. That means the real date, mint mark, and inscriptions are not always sitting clearly on the front or back the way most people expect. They are placed on the edge of the coin. And if that edge lettering is missing, weak, doubled, or unusual, that is when collectors become very interested. Because an edge lettering error can turn a normal-looking presidential dollar into a coin people start chasing. That is why these coins are dangerous to ignore. Because someone can look at this John Tyler coin and think it's just a dollar. But a collector sees something else. A modern U.S. coin with historical identity, a well-known series, and the possibility of a hidden error sitting on the edge, where most people never even look. And that is exactly how valuable discoveries are missed. Not because they are invisible, but because people never think to check. So if you ever find a coin like this, do not just look at the front. Do not just look at the back. Check the edge. Because sometimes the biggest secret of the coin is hiding in the one place most people never notice. Now let's move to coin number 2. And this one carries a name almost everyone recognizes: Thomas Jefferson, a founding father, a president, a figure deeply connected to the early identity of the United States. That alone gives this coin a strong historical presence. But once again, in collecting, history alone is not enough. What matters is the combination, the design, the condition, the strike, and most importantly, the hidden details. On one side, this coin shows the same bold Statue of Liberty reverse, with the simple but powerful $1 mark. On the other side, Thomas Jefferson's portrait appears with Third President, 1801 to 1809. And the moment you see that, the coin becomes more than just money. It becomes a piece of presidential history. But here's where the story becomes powerful. Presidential dollar coins were heavily overlooked by the general public. Many people never paid attention to them. Some didn't like using them. Some put them away. Some spent them carelessly. That created something interesting in the collector world, because coins people ignore often become the ones people fail to inspect properly. And when a coin series is known for edge lettering errors, that becomes a serious opportunity. A missing inscription, a weak edge strike, a doubled edge, an unusual edge appearance. These are the details that can separate an ordinary coin from a coin people seriously talk about. And Thomas Jefferson's presidential dollar belongs to one of the earliest issues in the series. That matters, because early coins in a series often get more attention. Collectors study them closely. They look for known varieties. They compare edge lettering. They search for mistakes. And once again, that's what makes this coin dangerous to ignore. To most people, it's a $1 coin. To a serious collector, it is a coin from a historic presidential series with edge lettering potential and a profile linked to one of the most recognized names in American history. That changes how the coin is seen. And once a coin is seen differently, its importance changes with it. So if you hold a Thomas Jefferson presidential dollar, do what most people never do. Slow down, turn it, inspect the edge, read the lettering, look for anything unusual. Because one missed detail can be the difference between spending a dollar and discovering something far more interesting. Now we come to the final coin. And this one may be the most overlooked of all. The James Garfield presidential dollar. At first glance, it looks exactly like what most people expect. Golden tone, Statue of Liberty on one side, a presidential portrait on the other. Simple, clean, ordinary. But in the coin world, ordinary-looking coins can be the most dangerous to ignore, because this is where hidden details survive. James Garfield was the 20th President of the United States, a historic figure whose presidency was brief but permanently remembered. That gives this coin a serious historical identity. The front side carries his name, his portrait, and the wording that places him in presidential history. The reverse once again shows the Statue of Liberty, the symbolic design that ties the series together. And yet, for all of that visible detail, the most important thing may still be the edge. That is what makes this coin powerful. Because these presidential dollars trained collectors to think differently. Not just face, not just back, but edge. And when a series becomes known for missing edge lettering or unusual edge strikes, every coin in that series becomes worth checking more carefully. That is why a James Garfield dollar should never be dismissed too quickly. Because what looks like a normal golden coin may carry a detail that changes everything. A missing date, a missing motto, a weak strike, a strange edge, and suddenly, a coin people would normally throw in a drawer becomes the center of attention. That is how modern coin discoveries happen. Quietly, unexpectedly, in coins people thought were too ordinary to matter. And that is why this final coin is the perfect ending to this story, because it proves one simple truth. A coin does not need to look rare to deserve a second look. Sometimes the most important detail is the one hidden just out of sight. And sometimes the value is not in what everyone sees first, but in what almost nobody checks. Now, imagine this. A coin that looks even more normal, even more common, even easier to ignore.
the Thomas Jefferson presidential dollar. A name everyone knows, a face connected to the foundation of a nation, a coin that feels familiar. But familiarity can be dangerous, because when something feels normal, people stop paying attention. They don't rotate it, they don't inspect it, they don't check the edge. And that's exactly where the difference is, because coins like this have been known for edge variations. And sometimes a tiny difference creates a completely different story. A coin that was once ignored suddenly becomes something people discuss, something collectors notice, something that gets pulled out of circulation and placed into collections. And once that happens, the coin stops moving. It stops being spent. It stops being common. And when that happens, its importance increases. That is how value grows, not instantly, but over time, through attention, through awareness, through discovery.